Did you see the video of Biden at the debate in 2007 announcing that Barack Obama had an AIDS test?
I know Barack got tested for AIDS.
Oh, it's the funniest video ever. Biden said, well, I think, AIDS is a real problem in the African American.
Yeah. You know what's, people often will always talk about the Obama tan suit and how the right went crazy. This is such a hoax. The Obama tan suit controversy started with the New York Times.
What we're watching here isn't a slip-up, it's a full-blown collapse. The polished image of the untouchable elder statesman didn't just wobble, it imploded on contact with unscripted reality. For years, the public was sold a persona built on calm delivery and intellectual prestige. But the moment the safety rails disappeared, the illusion crumbled. This wasn't about policy, it was about control. And when that control vanished, so did the mask.
A Netflix producer, along with his 8-petaled wife, Michelle, he's producing more racial division. The latest is called Leave the World Behind. It's a fictional thriller about the collapse of technology and what humans would do with no phones or computers.
A portion of a handwritten letter the former president sent to his then-college girlfriend, Alex McNear. Alex, back in 1982. He talked about his, quote, androgynous mind and wrote, and I'm quoting Obama here, I make love to men daily, but in the amount surprised fans on our new podcast by saying her pet peeve about her husband is that he's chronically late. For example, we're still waiting on him to admit he's from Kenya. And as for Barack's pet peeve about Michelle, he's mad that she keeps leaving the toilet seat up. When she cleans it.
Greg Gutfeld understands something the legacy media still doesn't. Mockery is kryptonite to manufactured authority. He didn't argue, he exposed. By spotlighting the absurd contrast between elite rhetoric and elite lifestyles, he turned sanctimony into a punchline. While the press clings to reverence, Gutfeld's laughter slices straight through it. Nothing terrifies self-important power more than being laughed at, and that's exactly what's happening.
Test. Barack Obama had an AIDS test.
I know Barack got tested for AIDS.
There's a cutaway of Obama being like, I hate you.
It's an important thing.
Then Biden's like, which is totally good. And I think he's negative, but all men should get an AIDS test.
There's no shame in being tested for AIDS.
Obama is so mad.
I just got to make clear, I got tested with Michelle.
Then Tucker steps in, not with shouting, but with a scalpel. His question is devastatingly simple. Why does this myth still hold? He reframes an entire era not as a revolution, but as branding brilliance. Hope and change wasn't a movement, it was marketing. And once you see it that way, the current wreckage suddenly makes sense. The story collapses when you follow the trail back to its origin.
But I'm not paying for their website.
Kennedy, just watching that now, so that was 2011. Him and Trump are saying exactly the same thing, but he's not saying it as well. It's like he wasn't having fun with it.
But it's like even the name of it, he was like, and we're going to call it the cost-cutting commission because Joe Biden is going to be in charge, and everyone knows you don't mess with Joe, right?
Biden was put in charge.
Pay close attention. This isn't authority speaking. This is panic. Real confidence doesn't explode like this. What you're seeing is a system reacting to exposure, not challenge. The raised voices and sharp edges aren't strength, they're tells. When power stops persuading and starts snapping, it's because it knows the crowd is no longer buying the performance.
At a rental house, and one night they're visited by a father and a daughter who show up seeking shelter. They say their phones no longer work and they need a place to stay. So immediately the white family, because they're evil, that's included in their DNA of course, is suspicious of the visitors because they're black. And it goes on and on and on like this. Here's a clip.
I'm asking for you to remember that if the world falls apart, trust should not be doled out easily to anyone, especially white people.
Can't trust white people. They're evil. This is the guy, remember, who became famous at the Democratic Convention in 2004 by telling us there is no white America. There's no.
This moment represents a widening cultural split. On one side, carefully rehearsed language, elite-approved narratives, and spotless optics. On the other, raw frustration from people done being managed instead of represented. This isn't left versus right anymore. It's the insulated class versus everyone else. And that divide is no longer theoretical. It's personal.
That they used to hate waste, but because they hate Trump more, they now love waste.
Yeah, I'm thinking the Fiddlin' Forsters I'm okay with that.
Yeah, I mean, compared to now.
I mean, over trans mice.
That's like wonderful. Now we have like trans porpoises in Uganda.
The only problem is under Trump, it's the Fiddlin' Forster. Because they fired all the others.
Yeah.
There's only one left. It's like, it's a forest. It's been there forever. Why do you need somebody?
Here's the twist no one's supposed to say out loud. The loudest voices warning about disinformation are the same ones who perfected narrative control. The label itself has become a shield, used to swat away inconvenient truths. What Gutfeld and Tucker are exposing is simple. When power can't refute an argument, it rebrands dissent as dangerous.
Barack Obama had a strange and highly creepy personal life, yet nobody ever asked him about it. By that point, a leader's behavior within his own marriage, the core relationship of his life, had been declared irrelevant. It was Barack Obama's business, not yours.
Between him and Obama, it's real.
I remember Hunter Biden, who was my neighbor for many years, telling me more than once, when Biden was vice president, how much they despised Barack Obama.
You can feel the shift in real time. This is the moment admiration turns into suspicion. The crowd stops seeing a visionary and starts seeing a salesman whose product didn't deliver. The disappointment cuts deep because it's emotional, not ideological. People are realizing they didn't get a future, they got a slogan.
Has called his entire job and educational history into question. So who hired this guy? The head of the Des Moines School Board is Jackie Norris, Iowa Democratic candidate for senator and former chief of staff to none other than Michelle O. Her job, by the way, was to provide new phone books after Michelle would rip them in.
Watch how fast the media snaps into position. This isn't reporting, it's damage control. The headlines soften, the criticism redirects, and the narrative narrows. But here's the problem. Gutfeld and Tucker aren't playing inside that system. They don't need approval, access, or validation. And that independence is exactly what's driving the establishment into a frenzy.
Colludes with Nancy Pelosi and Hakeem Jeffries and Schumer. Sunday morning calls Biden and says, you're done. Kamala's gonna 25th Amendment you, and you gotta step aside.
And who places the call? Obama does.
So Obama calls the sitting president and tells him, you're done. Then tells Kamala Harris, you're gonna be the nominee, but if you don't gain traction, if you're not popular,
Strip away the speeches and look at the scoreboard. Middle-class stability eroded while elites celebrated progress from luxury balconies. Every emotional outburst you're seeing is meant to distract from that reality, from smaller paychecks, fractured communities, and fading opportunity. The outrage isn't about tone, it's about avoiding accountability.
5 words. Obama and Trump say what? Tyrus, Trump and Obama sat next to each other at Jimmy Carter's funeral. They appear to have buried the hatchet. What do you think they were saying?
Oh, I know what they were saying.
Right.
Hey, two-term guy. What's up, two-term guy? How are you doing? I don't know, just doing my two-term thing. And Biden was in the front and Kamala was in the... Oh, hey, I'm sorry, no term and one term.
Once the illusion shatters, there's no putting it back together. Seeing a cultural icon dismantled, especially by a comedian and a populist, changes everything. The mystique evaporates. What's left is a frantic attempt to stay relevant in a world that has already moved on. The crown still exists, but it doesn't carry weight anymore. In the end, this isn't about personalities, it's about perception. Are you consuming a polished broadcast version of reality? Or are you willing to look behind the curtain? The image has cracked, the reaction has been captured, and the authority once taken for granted now looks fragile. For the first time in years, the power structure is exposed, and it doesn't look composed. It looks nervous.
It is worthy of being invoked.
Yes.
If his condition is such that it needs to be invoked, and then they don't invoke it, then they're leaving the country in a precarious position of being led by a man not in possession of his faculties. If, on the other hand, it's not worthy of being invoked, then they've used an extortive threat.
Yes.
To oust the guy who's at the top of the ticket, who's the current incumbent president. That's not okay. I'm pretty sure that qualifies in some way as extortion.